With the rise in popularity of all forms of angling, especially carp fishing, it's fair to say that day ticket and open access fisheries play such an important role in today's angling world. These venues give anglers an opportunity to learn and to catch carp on a pay-as-you-go basis. Now, growing up, it was day ticket lakes that captured all my attention, and it was at this point I discovered a wonderful complex of lakes nestled in the Cotswold water park called Whelford Pools. Over the next decade, it was here that I learnt so much. I also met some wonderful people along the way, but eventually time moves on and I ventured off in search of new adventures. Now fast forward the best part of 20 years and I decided it was time once again to wet a line, as it was in great winter form. Also, a friend of mine, Ryan, had been doing really well, fishing short sessions, and from what I could see, the carp had grown somewhat since my last encounters. However, if memory served me correctly, this intimate little place always had a reputation for being rather tricky. But I had a few days that I could spare in hope of catching a winter Whelford Pools carp and take that lovely walk down memory lane.
Well, we're here and I cannot wait to get started. You're allowed to come in as a day ticket angler or a booking angler at Whelford from 8 o'clock. Things have changed. It's a fantastic site already. I can see Steve and Ollie have done some fantastic work with security and just looking around the place. Yeah, it still has that old nostalgic feel, but I can't wait to see how it's changed and if it has changed, to be fair. But Ryan's holding the camera. We've got a day ahead of ourselves. So time is the essence right now. We haven't got a lot of time. You know what it's like in the winter. It's 8 o'clock now. It probably gets dark at 4:30. And not only that, I know this place can be tricky. So, but the best thing is the weather's broke. It's warm today. So if there's ever a chance to catch a couple of day ticket winter carp, it's today. It has been fishing okay. A couple of fish have been caught. Ryan's actually had a few, which is great news. And the plan is to load the barrow up really lightly and have a little walk round. I'm just going to park it somewhere and sort of pick Ryan's brains and just see if my old knowledge of the place still holds firm. So we're just going to travel light. I've literally got a chair, one little bag, and I'm sort of going to have a little look around and probably give you a bit of a dissection of why and how I'm going to choose an area to fish today and what we're going to look for in terms of signs of where they might be. There will be people fishing. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to day ticket fishing. But I'll give you a bit of an insight into how we eventually decide on the swim. But first and foremost, we're hopefully going to kind of creep round, very soft underfoot, and try and sort of make a bit of a plan in terms of where they might be today. So yeah, I'm not going to catch any chatting to the camera, so see you in a minute. Well, I think the plan is, as we've already alluded to, going to have a little walk round. We're in the first corner, right? It looks like there's a couple of anglers fishing.
Yeah, there's a few people up in the channel swims, it looks like. So instead of walking straight past them, I think we're going to take the other route around the lake and see what options may be viable around this way.
Mate, do you have a superstitious way that you walk around the lake? Bizarrely, you are taking me a way that doesn't sit right with my feng shui. I always usually go clockwise, but this is anti-clockwise.
Wow.
Do you ever think
If you're
about it?
superstitious, Mike, we can go the other way if you like. But either way, I think the carp are going to be this way or that way. There's one laddie running back round here. I think he might have seen something.
Oh, he's got a little bit of a trot on.
Yeah, indeed. I think we might have to get our trot on. Let's go.
Yeah, come on. Right, I think it's fair to say that we are both in the same mindset, and there's a bit of a process of elimination, isn't there, in terms of how we're going to cancel out areas, especially on here. It's not a huge lake. But I guess it's all about having the same sort of observation mindset. And right now, it's making the right decision, because it's easy to make the wrong decision. I think it's easy to jump in a swim. Although it is a day ticket, we have to be pretty quick. We've got our barrows parked in an open area, but what's the plan in terms of your mindset of trying to kind of go through the process of elimination of where these carp might be for today?
I think through experience in the winter months, the clarity in the water becomes a lot better, so visibility and sighting fish becomes better. all along the margins you can see the clearer areas, and if the fish aren't in these areas it will be extremely clear. So straight away we're going to have a look around the marginal areas, and if we don't see any fish amongst it, then straight away we can eliminate the margins and maybe hedge our bets and thinking the fish are going to be in open water. The fish really do like the edges in here, and if we come across clouded water we'll definitely act upon it, but until we do see fish in the edge, I think we'll be able to eliminate some areas of the lake. Like I say, it's only a small lake, there is a lot of fish in here, and when I do see them in the edges, it's in big groups, maybe 15 to 25 odd fish. You do see the odd smaller groups, but we want to be on the bulk of fish. It's colder, it's the colder months, we're in the winter, and they are going to be grouped together, so if we don't see them in the edges, I think open water is going to be a good shout.
Yeah, no, good shout. I think already I'm looking at these margins, right, and they're clear. I can see the gravel margins. And because when they are in close, like you say, they cloud up the margins, don't they? You're not going to be able to see the bottom.
That's correct.
So let's quickly rule out as many areas as we can, and hopefully at the end of that quick lap we'll be left with multiple choice.
That's
Bit
right.
of pot luck.
Yeah.
Come on. Well, we're getting to the end of our walk, and I think one thing that's really important is you've got to be respectful for other anglers as well. It is first thing in the morning, it is bite time, so you know, the guys that are fishing already, we haven't got our rods out now, you could say that this is the prime time for a bite, so I don't want to impede on those guys either. It'd be very easy for me to sort of see some fish, if they were close to them, sort of flick some leads out, but for me, I wouldn't want it done to me, and I think, you know, those guys are all settled, they've been here for the night. If they're going to catch, you know, you could class that this would be prime bite time, so I'm going to leave them to it. I think we're going to continue our walk. I'm definitely not even going to look in the areas where they've got rods. It'd be easy for me to peer over the side, wouldn't it, and have a look where I think they've got their baits placed, because there might be fish there. I'm not going to do any of that either. I'm just going to tiptoe my way round, keep really quiet, go past them and continue our looking in the margins. But yeah, not sure if they've caught anything. We'll soon see if there's any wet mats or wet nets, so that'd be a bit of a giveaway, but we'll continue.
For the first few hours, we're just going to try out in the open water. We've not seen anything obvious in the edge. We have the opportunity to look around, and once the day breaks, we'll keep active. We'll see what's going on. But as for a start, I think we're in good place, a good bet.
Mate, I'm relying on your Whelford winter knowledge, Whelford winter hero here.
Oh.
So mate, if you're not going to get it right, nobody's going to get it right. So
We have to see what happens today, won't we?
yeah, come on.
Let's go.
Well, I'm talking with hushed tones because we've made our swim choice. It's the only area of the lake without no lines in it. And as Ryan's already sort of alluded to, these day ticket carp just know. And experience tells me in the past that if there's a bit of water that's had no lines running through it, it doesn't take them long to sort of settle in that area. So the plan is to be as stealth as possible. I think it's all won and lost on a day ticket fishery, especially a small one like Whelford, within the first hour. I don't want to go flicking leads around and trying to, you know, find the perfect spot. If I had 20 casts here with a bare lead, because it's such a small, intimate water, I just think the fish would know that we're fishing for them. So the approach is to get 2 rods out really quickly, really quietly. We're not making any noise. I've got a tiny little lead on here, and I'm just going to flick it out for the first hour or so. If I get any liners, that's a good sign, because obviously it might mean that I'm fishing too far. But for the time being, I'm just going to assess what I've got in front of me by getting a couple of quick rods out with tiny little leads. Not going to do any other casts, 2 casts. Ryan's going to do the same, and we'll sit back and see if we can make a plan for the rest of the day.
Before I cast out, I dropped my rigs in the edge to get the lead and components wet. I've often found dry components can create small little bubbles of trapped air once settled on the bottom. Now maybe it's just a small percentage, but in my mind's eye it certainly helps my confidence. Meanwhile, Ryan quietly set up and we got our rods out with 1 cast each before we kicked back to discuss the plan of attack for the day. However, it was at this point that I realised I forgot my kettle, a carp angler's winter essential. But luckily, Curly came to the rescue with his rather unique quintessential tea kit.
What I want to know is how do I, or when will I qualify for a knob on my kettle?
We ask you if you want a knob, It's not the other way around.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've heard this many a time.
Yeah.
How do you decide who's knob ready?
There's not like a criteria that you must meet. It's, I don't know. It's very much a feeling, a gut feeling.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've also heard that you don't get to choose your knob either.
No, you're given a knob.
Am I?
Whether you like it or not, yeah.
Well, mate, I still haven't got one, so maybe I'm not hitting the criteria. I'm not part of the secret society.
I just don't think you get a kettle on enough. I think that's the problem.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I heard it's all down to the handshake, is it?
Yeah.
What, to get a knob?
Yeah. You got to be in the click.
In the click.
Yeah.
Well, clearly I'm not in the click, and I don't make enough cups of tea. But if I was, I'd have this as part of my look at that. More importantly, who actually decided that was the right knob for you?
Luke Bounce.
And why on earth did he choose one that looked like it was probably from my nan's porcelain collection?
I think that one's from the range, you know. Just plug in.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Plug and play.
Plug and play. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Just for the purpose of health and safety, porcelain or china?
Plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah.
I was more concerned about heat conduction. So you're right with that.
We did give someone like a metal knob once, but I think that got quite hot.
Oh mate, a metal knob is definitely not the way forward, is it? Right, that's enough about knobs. We've got to try and catch some carp.
The only signs we saw feeding fish that morning was in front of me and Ryan, so I was sure the fish were still in the area. However, I felt I just needed to alter the position of the rigs.
Well, as you may have seen, I did film a few of them. I'm getting liners. Both rods, bleep, 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 bleep. So that tells me, although it's a small lake, the fish must be between me and the rod tip. So I haven't had anything yet. It's 12 o'clock. I've left Ryan sort of ferreting around, and he's trying to chase some fish up in the channel, and I think he's got a great chance. But Ryan did say all's to play for in the afternoon, so that's the best time to get a bite boil accounts at Whelford at the minute. So I'm just going to bring these in, and I'm literally going to tie some bags on as quick as I can, and then pop them out about a rod length and a half this way. So if the liner stop, it tells me I'm in the right area. That's all I can do. Still want to be really quiet if I can. I don't want to make much noise. Just want to get these bags out inconspicuously. Just drop them in the zone. Right. Let's do this. Right, let's just get this bag on, tied to the lead, and drop it out as quick as I can. A little bit of Cremino crumb. Probably seen me do this before. I tie the bags to the lead, and it sort of sits just here. Now there's a method behind my madness for that, because although it's far more convenient, easy for when the lead's all wet and the tackle's all damp, you know, you tie it to the lead there and it's really simple just to recast it as quick as possible. But the reason why I think it works so well is that when you cast this out, the bag is attached to the lead, and this hook link then, which I like to fish a hook link about 10 inches, sort of kicks away from the lead. And I think what happens is you get a small little bit of attraction around here, but any sort of fish that are a little bit wary of a pile of bait, because one thing I've noticed, there's 6 or 7 anglers here today, and I've noticed they're all fishing bags, but this one makes sure that the bag is here, a little pile of attraction, but the hook link is about 10 inches away, almost inconspicuous with its own little free offering. So it's always done me proud, that has, and I think there's more to it than just tying the bag to the lead. You get a hook bait that's almost a foot away from the lead, and you could class that as maybe less suspicious, or it might actually be the first thing they pick up as they approach the attraction. Not sure, but it definitely works. Just need the fish to move in. Right, let's get this one out.
With the rods reset closer in, the liners soon stopped, and it was time to catch up with Steve and Ollie about the lake's progress over the years. However, I didn't have to wait long before the bobbin pulled up tight and battle commenced.
Well, it's been 20 years or more since I've had a take out here, and I've got to admit, it feels great to be back. just when I didn't think it was going to happen today. Sort of give myself 3 or 4 days, single day sessions that we're going to plan to come up here and fish. Obviously the catch on day 1 is a great start. Don't think it's a big fish, scaly one. But for a winter day session, to get a bend in the rod is exactly what we were looking for. Steady as you go, steady as you go, in. Yes, well done, Rye. Thanks for that, mate. Oh, what result? Maybe £20 scaly carp, Rye?
Looking that way, definitely.
Yeah.
That for a day in January.
Mate, that rod had been out, I don't know, 20 minutes. We've seen a show and I quickly skipped it in. Don't want to be scared of sort of recasting. I've got little tiny leads on, trying to make as minimal disturbance as I can. Tied a bag to the lead, little walnut size, just flicked it out on that show. 20 minutes, it's gone. So yeah, roving the rods around until the liners stopped. I was getting a few liners and I think I was fishing too far beyond them. So I brought them in a little bit and that's the result. Winter carp. Well, there he is. What a lovely way to start this lovely day at Whelford Pools. The cracking scaly carp.
Releasing that carp gave me a gentle reminder that once again, time goes so fast. Decades had passed in just a blink of an eye. However, we still had a few hours of the day left to try and work a bite or two.
I put a little bit of bait in just to see if I could stop them in their tracks. And
Yeah.
to my disbelief, the fish reacted within an instant. I threw a handful of pellet, a bit of crumb, a bit of cremino crumb and pellet maggot and cremino crumb in. And as it's fluttering down to the bottom, 2 fish have passed through. And to my disbelief, one's dropped straight away. His pecs go in, tail up, and I didn't need to see anything else. I've come down and whipped the rod in. Got a bank stick still in my hand. I'm going to put a bag straight amongst them whilst the opportunity's still present. So less talking, more doing, I reckon.
Ryan's rod's here, so he's literally just going to lift the rod up next to him down and move down. I think he's just got to maximise the opportunities while they present themselves. So, bag in hand, mate.
Bag in hand.
Let's have a little look.
Plenty of goodies in there. We got a bit of cremino crumb with the maggots to add a bit of flavour, a bit of cremino booster.
Some edge pellets.
Plenty of edge pellets, and I've got a little subtle hook bait hidden in the bottom. It does the do as we get it out there.
Let's follow you down, mate. I'll see where the money spot is.
Let's go. So I've just got up the tree to make sure the coast is clear. I've got the glasses on. There's not any fish present now, but you can see the little silhouette of where I'll just put a handful of bait. It's right in the centre of their tracks. They're passing right through the middle of the channel, so I'm going to lower a single trap in the middle there and see if we can get another fish to upright him. So. Yes. Now to walk the rod back to the rest.
With Ryan's trap set, I quickly redid my rod and got it back out on the spot. But within minutes, it was off once again, and I was into my second Whelford Pools carp of the day.
Well, that's the second bite in quick succession in half an hour. Getting that rod out quickly has obviously paid dividends because it just pulled up tight. Steve and Ollie were sort of spotting the fish actually really in close. Local knowledge, they know what they're talking about. And you can see a little group of them just chasing the sun. Classic winter behaviour really, just getting the last rays of the day. So I brought the rods in as I've already mentioned and found a little honey pot. Thanks for the video there.
Slow mo.
Yeah!
Look at that. That's a bit bigger than the last one. It's got a hell of a belly on it. I'd say that's definitely 27, 28 pound that, which is it's a great result. In fact, Ollie was the guy that called it that this fish might be due, which is really strange. A bit of a mystic Meg, but there he is. It's in the net.
There he is. Second one of the day. And a real bullish shape. Nice bit of variety.
With the fish slipped back, Ryan had found a small group of fish on the far bank. His relentless energy and work rate in pursuit of a bite was incredible. I was sure before the end of the day it would all pay off.
The lads who are in the channel have moved off now, and I can see my 2 bags just down this edge, and I've just threw one handful of bit of crumb, maggots, bits and bobs over the top, and the fish have swam straight through the cloud of the maggots. They're definitely aware of the baits here. I think I'm going to have to sit on my hands a bit here and let the fish play their part, because they're definitely in the area and there's a good number of fish here, so I'll keep an eye on them and keep a track of their movements. As I'm speaking now, there is another fish just coasting over. He's passing over the bag now and just going out of sight to my left. So we're going to keep a good tab on this, and it's looking good for a daytime bite. Let's keep going.
Ryan now had 2 rods set on patrol routes he'd observed the carp feeding on the far bank, while I decided to rebait both rods and cast them to 2 sets of bubbles just a little bit further out. I'd been catching on my normal slip D rig, both with half a Cremino 12mm pop-up, but tied to the back of that was 2 worms. Then I snipped the tails off to give the hook bait an extra kick, before tying a bag of Cremino to the lead to complete the trap. Now I didn't have to wait long before I had a really strange, twitchy bite.
What a crazy little take that was. They certainly know how to get away with it here. It's just a little bobbin lift, up and down, up and down. And I thought to myself, that looked suspiciously like a fish shaking his head. And we all agreed on the next little bobbin twitch or shake, I'd lift the rod and we're in. No, I don't think we can ask for anything more. That's 3 bites in a day. So, well, perfect end to a very, very productive first day at Whelford Pools.
Lovely.
Well, as I was playing it, I think it's a 30 pounder, so what a great way to end the day. Ollie and Ryan said they recognised it. There was a little linear scale pattern that was twisting and turning, it was coming in, and they immediately said that's a 30 pound carp. So what more can we ask for? Nearly home time. Literally I was just packing the stuff away, getting stuff sort of packed into the rucksack. Maybe 33 pound ish, but we better hurry up because the light is fading, and cameras and light, I haven't got a flash with me, don't really mix, so I just need to get it done pretty quick, and then yes, home time. Time for bath. Well done, mate. Thank you very much. What a great day. Oh, look at that. Look at that lovely linear line there. Wow. Finished the day off. We half a Cremino pop up there. There we go, that's gone. Look at him. Colours of it. That's 30 pound easily. Certainly didn't expect to catch one this big today. Fantastic. Right.
I will give you 33.6.
33 pound 6. What a great end to a fantastic day's fishing. Yeah, look at that. That is as clean as a whistle. And I tell you what, that is a fantastic carp. Look at him. Look at this big of the scales down here. Big sovereigns on it. The guys have done a sterling job here. What's on offer at Whelford Pools for a day ticket carp fishery with carp like this? Wow. Well, there he is. 33 pound 6 of solid Whelford Pools day ticket carp. Look at that. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, mate, yeah, wicked. Cheers, guys.
Well, sadly, it was time to pack up and head home. But what an end to a wonderful day at Whelford Pools. I guess I won't wait another 20 years next time. In fact, I can't wait to return. The lake is thriving under Steve and Ollie's management. The fish look incredible, and once again, this intimate little pool gave me a day full of memories to treasure forever. By the time I'd loaded the van, it was dark, but after all Ryan's effort and hard graft to chase those Whelford Pools carp around, I heard a whistle, and eventually he got his just reward.